we're being very, very consistent in what we've said throughout this period. At the very beginning,
we're being very, very consistent in what we've said throughout this period. At the very beginning, we said that, yeah, you should stay at home if you can, go to work if you must. What's changed now is the emphasis and the encouragement that we're giving to people, as it were, to follow the initial guidance. The initial guidance of March the 23rd, I think it was.
Very consistent in what we've said throughout this period. At the very beginning, we said that you should stay at home if you can, go to work if you must. What's changed now is the emphasis and the encouragement that we're giving to people, as it were, to follow the initial guidance of March the 23rd. I think it was.
He asks Mr. Speaker about what science it's going to be based on, and how we've reached the conclusions that we have. As I said last night, as I told the House, the reproduction rate of the disease is now between 0.5 and 0.9. It varies across the countries, as he rightly says, and that's why actually different approaches by the devolved administrations are to be welcomed where those are appropriate to their specific needs. But overall, and I think that all the leaders of the devolved administrations would confirm this, that there is a very, very strong desire to move forward as 4 nations together. And perhaps I can sum up. We all share the strong view that you should stay at home if you can, and that remains the position. The steps we're taking today are modest steps, entirely governed by the science. We hope we may be in a position, and this is entirely conditional, to take further steps in. Forgive me, Mr. Speaker. Further steps in the next few weeks. He asks an entirely, given the complexity of what's being said, he raises a perfectly reasonable point about people moving across the border into Wales for recreation purposes, and I totally and believe me, there'll be a myriad of hypothetical situations that people will be able to raise. But let's be absolutely clear, Mr. Speaker. Everybody understands what we are trying to do together, and that is working together as a country to obey the social distancing rules, which everybody understands. And I think what the British people understand is that this is the moment for the whole country to come together and to obey those rules and to apply their common sense in the application of those rules. And I have huge admiration for the way that the police have enforced them so far, and I know that the British public is going to continue to help the police and everybody to enforce those rules, to get our reproduction rate down, to get this disease even further under control by continuing to apply good, solid British common sense. It's worked throughout phase 1, and I have no doubt it's going to work in the second phase of the disease as well, of the fight against the disease as well.
To get this disease even further under control by continuing to apply good, solid British common sense. It's worked throughout phase 1, and I have no doubt that it's going to work in the second phase of the disease as well, of the fight against the disease as well. Yeah.